Sacramento artist, painter. She's just a beautiful overall spirit. I'm sure you can see.
Fellow big hair girl.
Hey. Curly hair
girl. The power in the fro. Yeah.
Right. So much power in the fro. Right. So today we are talking about getting active within your community and ways to do that, ways to get involved, ways to make your time matter within your space. Okay. So first, we want to talk about spending your money locally and supporting local businesses. I was going to say, do you guys know of any, like, dope businesses around here, like, in Sacramento?
Well, I know of Vibe Health Bar.
Okay.
I currently work at Vibe Health Bar. It's a really, really great establishment. It's on Broadway across from Oak Park Brewery. And they do really healthy bowls, acai bowls, smoothies, other healthy foods. They have superfood booths. And it's really good just helping nourish the community.
Yeah. So how is it like on the scale of like money? You know, is it really expensive or is it pretty affordable?
Well, we definitely do happy hour deals. So,
so
Monday through Friday, 3 to 6.
Drinks?
Well, no, not
grass shots. Okay. We grass shots.
I'm like,
no alcohol. No, we do have kombucha and things like that. But for the happy hour, it's smoothies and the acai bowl. So 20% off. That's 3 to 6 on Monday through Friday. If you want to come through.
Check it
Vibe
out.
Health Bar, Oak Park fave. Just saying, keep the money in the community.
You know?
Yeah. Do you know of any? Oh, hey.
Anyway.
Sorry. Seeing somebody, whenever you're at Soul Collective, you always see somebody, you know,
Sorry
gotta always
that.
show them
that
a
was
little
my
bit
bad.
of love.
Forgot for a second. But anyway.
But yeah, it's really important to spend your money within your community and especially like within Sacramento, within the Black communities, Latino communities, Asian communities. And if you can't get to somewhere, because I know one time we were looking for a Black restaurant that was open late.
No.
Black people like to go home.
Yeah, bacon and butter. I've been wanting to try bacon and butter, but it closes at 3 p.m. And it's like, I never think about it until after that time. And it's like...
Right. But what I found out was that one of the chain restaurants that if you just are like, oh my gosh, I can't deal, I have to go to some chain restaurant, Ruths Chris. So Ruths Chris, even though the woman, she was born, she's from Louisiana. She makes sure that all of her employees, she passed away a couple years ago, but she has implemented a system where like all of her employees get full pay if they have jury duty, which I've never gotten full pay for jury duty. She sponsors families for Christmas, or the business Ruths Chris sponsors families for Christmas. And during Hurricane Katrina, they took, I believe, like 200 families and placed them in like special Ruths Chris housing until their houses were rebuilt. Wow. And they put money into their houses being rebuilt and then transported them back to their new homes after.
That's so cool.
Right?
That's Ruths Chris just everywhere? Like she's the CEO of it?
Yeah, she's the creator. Wow. She's Ruths Chris.
And I
don't know her last name.
And is she like, she's Black or she's just...
Is she Black?
No, she's not. She is a white lady, which thank you so
that
much
doesn't matter though.
for helping out.
It doesn't. And that's what another thing I would want to kind of bring up is it doesn't matter, like you were saying, different races earlier. Like even if you go to like the liquor store that you know the guy working there, he's always there, he owns that liquor store, you're still supporting your community because that guy lives in your community. Right. So it doesn't just have to be Black owned because it really is important to, you know, invest in your own community because gentrification will come through and they'll do it for you. And at the same time, push you guys out.
Right, all through.
So we want to keep the money.
Park right now.
You know.
Right. Yeah. And another good one, Pangea Cafe. That's my place.
Oh, right.
Pangea Cafe. It's right across the street from Gunther's Ice Cream.
Yep.
Yes, and it's amazing.
Gunther's Ice Cream is really good, by the way. And
that's a local place.
Yeah, so you know, if you know.
Right. So that's another one for food. And then like clothing. Do you guys know any like clothing stores that are local?
I know like boutiques, you know, and I mean like they're all up and down Broadway. They're all up in, there's one right next door actually to Soul Collective. I don't know the name of it and I haven't really been in there.
You know, how do we not know that one?
I don't
By
know.
Soul Collective. There's two.
I don't know what it's called, but I always look in there and they have really nice stuff. So I mean like as far as clothing is concerned, I don't really like off the top of my head.
I was just gonna
styles. Yes,
I went today.
Consignment.
I don't like to shop at the mall just because I don't like to support like big industries like
you
that.
have no idea where their money is going.
Right.
No idea what they're
And
putting it
99% of the time it's sweatshops. Like even Beyonce's clothing is made in sweatshops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
It's
course,
just-
especially Beyonce.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah,
I know. I love freestyles because it you are able to recycle your clothing. You're able to,
And there's no tax on the price.
Hey, yes, you're able to recycle clothing, and that also in itself is helping to save the environment. You know what I mean? Materials, how much you wash your clothes. More clothes you get, the more you have to wash them. And some of the clothes you be getting at like Forever 21 does not last like 2 washes.
Yeah.
It starts getting beady balled.
But some of the
Beady
stuff
ball.
at Freestyles is from Forever 21. I'm not going to lie. I've gone
true.
there and gotten a
It's
skirt
true.
or a dress that was from Forever 21. But your money's not going to Forever 21, and you can bring something in and exchange it. So consignment is always a really good.
Always something to get
Crossroads,
into.
they're not that. They're kind of picky with their stuff.
Crossroads, yeah.
So if you want to turn in some mint condition stuff, I would say go there.
Yeah.
But they're kind of choosy.
Every time I go there, I'll bring like this huge bag of like shoes, purses,
Just
shirts,
everything.
skirts, everything. Like some, even with the tag still on it. Every time, I kid you not, they've only taken 1 item.
Yep.
Or maybe 2.
And then even sometimes for that one item, they'll be like, we'll give you store credit for this. And you're like, or they'll be like, we'll give you $12 store credit and $3 cash. And you're like,
Damn.
I'd rather keep it and like try to cut it up, take my chances on redesigning it for myself. Like,
Okay.
dang.
That's also super important.
But also,
Redesigning.
like,
get creative.
even supporting like the boutiques you see your friends opening on Instagram. I know a lot of people like to make fun of stuff like that.
Rax Boutique is a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one I've seen like on my Explore page. Like, if you see stuff like that, support those people. Those are your peers trying to come out and do something, and it's better than Forever 21. You're supporting someone's dream, not
That's a good
just
point.
another dollar in the till.
Or even clothing lines, local clothing lines, and everybody knows someone who's starting a clothing line.
Yeah.
I know plenty of people. That's so important. That's more important than like businesses. I feel, just
it
because
is.
that's your friend. That's your
Giving that support to your peer, supporting, just like, and that's the purpose for all of you who have heard about how to be real's event coming up, which is Let's Link Up, #SackMeetSack. Yes, that's what our event is all about, is coming out, everybody who does anything, somebody who even doesn't really know what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's for everybody to come out, find out what they do, and support each other, because we need to do that for us to all make it. Like, we can all make it.
Yeah.
It's so possible, especially right now.
Yes.
Like, why not? Why can't we all
Say
eat?
that
Let's
again.
eat together. Let's not compete with each other. If I'm a photographer and you're a painter,
Right.
I should not be jealous of you getting your shine. I'm not even a painter. Why do I care that you're getting? I should be up at your art events like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture for my postcards? I'm gonna start selling postcards because I'm a photographer. Yeah. So
people work together or better together
Yeah.
as a unit. It's
Exactly.
more likely that you'll get to the top if you have other people with you helping you get there, and also you helping them.
yes.
I don't know why people don't,
And even if you are in the same field, like say you were a painter and I like kind of realized I want to paint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I, instead of hating on you, like, ooh, I'm not going to like any of her stuff because she's better than me at painting and I want to be a painter. That's what I really want to do. Instead of getting upset, maybe be like, hey, Alia, how did you get started painting?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Get
How'd you
knowledge.
get into it? Where do you get your paint?
Yeah.
How should I do this?
Yeah.
And that brings us to the next little notch of today's show.
the next topic
Right.
forward.
Getting involved includes asking questions and being open to answering those questions. You can ask somebody like Alia or somebody you know in the community whatever you want, even if it's not professionally related, and the people who you're asking should also be open to answering those questions.
Yeah.
That's how we make a difference.
Definitely. Like if someone walks up to you and, like I just posed that question to Alia and it's like, it's, cool that I'm open to ask that question, but it's also cool if Aaliyah's like, yeah, girl, you want to link up sometime? Maybe we can meet up at Pete's Coffee or something and sit down and actually talk about it. And we could talk about painting and I can show you some stuff, some beginner tricks that help me out, or give you some old brushes that I got. You can take these. I just got me some new ones. You know what I mean? Anything.
Might come up.
Anything like that. And that goes for pretty much everything. Like me and Tay, when we were first initially kind of talking about the topic for today, we were talking about when you realize something that you want to do, something that would be smart is to look at someone who's doing that, whether it be a teacher or somebody who works, even if it's just like, oh, so-and-so works at a call center. I would love a call center job. Let me hit her up, message her on Facebook or wherever and say, hey, girl, is your job hiring? How can I get on? How can I do that? You know what I mean? Just reaching out and actually using our resources.
Right. Do people ask you questions at all? Like when you do your shows and your art exhibits?
I mean, no one, not really. Honestly, not really. I haven't.
I'm surprised.
A lot of people like compliment me and say they wish they could do that or they want to start getting into like painting or whatever, but they don't. I'm like, well, hit me up. Yeah. We could do an art session. Like I'm down for that.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm super down and open to that. But.
Well, okay.
Don't be scared.
Whoever wants to know how to run their own art exhibition or start painting or get into networking on your artwork or, you know, whatever kind of creative you are, this chick is the girl right here. She's the one. So what's your handle? What's your like social media stuff?
Instagram is Art by Alia. Alia spelled Aliyah. And then also you can find me on Facebook through that as well.
Definitely. And we'll go over that at the end as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely recap that. Her art is dope. I love all of it because everyone has big hair.
I know.
It's just like, it's so beautiful.
Right.
It's so beautiful.
It is. And I know that making those things happen, like accomplishing those goals, it takes planning. Like, what is a method you use to track your goals or to set goals?
I like to write things down. For me, I'm a visual learner. I'm just super visual. So, like, I have to see it. If I write it down, just as far as memory, too, I think that's really good just to, like, keep that in the back of your mind to write it down.
Right.
And just try to plan ahead as far in advance as possible. Time management is so important, and that's something I've taken a while to learn. Still getting the hang of it, but, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. With you on that one.
Right. On that one for sure. I know I write my goals down too. But I feel like sometimes it's hard, like, so this is my notebook and I'll write like a list of things I want to get accomplished. I'm a list writer. And
you're just a writer. You got everything written down.
I know. And I will sometimes like forget that it's in there. You know, like I'll tell myself repeatedly because I did write it down at one point. So I'll be like, oh, I want to do that and do that. But I will never like maybe go back to that page.
You got to get a board, like a, you know.
See.
You got to get something
get
big.
A cork
you
board.
Can see every day.
Write you one of these. And
right.
But you see,
scratch papers.
What I do is like I kind of have, I don't want to say a lot of free time, but I have like a little bit of free time a lot of the time, if that makes any sense. Like I get little spurt breaks.
Little spurts
and
here.
So I keep this journal with me, and then I have this little thing right here, and it's marked with my page where I just listed all my goals, like personal goals, you know, professional goals, and just a couple of things that I want to change about myself or want to make sure I keep the same about myself, just whatever it is, you know what I mean? And just something uplifting to write, and you know what I mean? Just marking it and keeping it, putting it somewhere where you'll see it every day.
Exactly.
So that is like the mirror in the bathroom or the back of your bedroom door or inside your car.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We all get in the car every day.
That's a good one. No, I feel like when I see visual, I don't know why, but like I really like writing stuff down, and I will I have a few stickies in my mirror hitting a Mary Jane. Anybody who watches Being Mary Jane will understand that reference. But I like dream boards. I like cutting stuff out of magazines and putting them on there. I actually need to do a new one. But what's crazy is that a few of those things that I put on my dream board, like even just images and words, like, travel and, 24 because I just turned 24. So it's just like getting myself ready for that and like being inspired. Those are just words that I have up there. And I really feel like just those 3 things, there's more, but just those 3 have really kind of taken me far in 2016. Like I have traveled. I traveled for like acting stuff, and that's also continued to help me be inspired with my writing and journalism. And like I'm 24 and I'm freaking loving it. I was really scared. Yeah. I was really scared, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, oh my gosh, wait. But 24 has been like my best year, I think. Good. In my 20s, my best 20s year.
That's
I'm sure you have more to come.
Right?
Yeah, of course. When you're still young.
I feel like it's being conscious of it though. Like
Yeah.
if you see you have your board, like having that in the back of your mind each day, or like just, you know, continuing to go back to those thoughts, like what am I gonna do? Where am I going? Or like what do I want to get accomplished?
Yeah.
Like having that in the forefront of your mind every day, like makes those things happen because you're doing things to reach that goal.
Yeah.
Without even knowing it. Sometimes I feel like
Subconscious.
Yes.
That's that secret.
And I even started, like, and at first I'll admit it was kind of weird, but mantra. Like, I've started that. Like, I did yoga, like, I don't know, like a couple weeks back. And I had never did that to where, like the yoga, like, video that I was watching, the girl was saying, like, you know, set an intention for this yoga session. And my intention was just to relax because I was, like, really, really anxious. And so my intention that I set for that yoga, like, whatever you call it, yoga session, was to just relax and calm down and just be calm. And I just kept repeating that, like, just relax and breathe. Yes. And by the end of the thing, like, you know, I ended in corpse pose, just laying on the ground.
Which is the best.
And, like, afterwards, I sat up and just, like, laughed. I was, like, in a good mood, just laughing at nothing. I was just kind of laughing at, like, dang, I was really upset, and now I feel, like, my insides feel way looser.
I'm feeling way better.
Right.
I'm feeling way better.
And so I kind of been using that through life and just kind of, like, whatever it is, you know, maybe it's, like, don't stress, you know, something like that. You can repeat it, and when you feel yourself getting stressed, maybe you say don't stress to yourself. You know, you have to say it out loud.
Right.
You know, just say that and kind of repeat that, and at the same time take a deep breath, and it really does help. You're like, you know what, I am telling my body don't stress out because you can physically feel it, and it
being able to, like, consciously clear your mind is so trippy. Like, you don't understand how big of a deal clearing your mind and literally thinking about nothing but relaxation, just the word relaxation, having nothing else in your mind, no extra thoughts, no thinking about what you're going to do after yoga, no thinking about whatever plans you have for the day, just literally just think about that one word, mantra, whatever you're thinking. It's difficult. It's difficult.
It is.
Possible. So possible.
Easier when you're doing yoga, I will say. So if you do want to start it, that's a good place to start. Because, you know, in yoga, especially when you're doing it with, like, a tape, so someone's kind of talking you through it. And, you know what I mean? There are times when, you know, you're doing any workout tape, honestly, and they say breathe, and you realize that you were kind of holding your breath. You kind of through it, you know what I mean? And then you breathe, and you're like, okay, this is way easier now that I'm breathing. Oh, my God. And so, like, you know, it's cool to start it with that little bit of guidance, and then, you know, just kind of, it still takes a little conscious of, like, you know what? I was saying don't stress earlier. Why don't I just say that for a minute?
Right.
Think that and calm down and just recenter. And so, I mean, it works with pretty much any goal. Like, I don't know, even just like leaving earlier for work so that if I do hit traffic, I'm not getting to work right on time because that's kind of not the best for the job that I do. So, you know, just saying that I want to leave earlier, just any goal that you have, though, like it can work with that. You say you want a job in the field that you really want to work in. You know, I've said that, wrote that down many a time, you know, and then that kind of goes back to writing your goals down. And Tay saying that, you know, you don't want to lose it, you forget that it's there, write it again. Write it somewhere else. You know what I mean? Write it down. Put it in your phone.
Right. And something that I feel like is really important with setting goals and making sure that you don't, like, fall off is that long-term versus short-term thing. That's definitely, you know what I mean? Like, before I go into that, what do you feel? How do you do it? Do you do long-term or do you do short-term goals? What's your main?
I'm just the type of person I'm right now. So I don't really focus on long-term goals. I'm kind of just what's first on the list to do. And it's hard for me to see too far in the future just because things
like you
change.
think like day, week in advance, month in advance.
I'll give you a month. A month is whatever. A month is cool,
lots can happen
but
in
a
month.
year is hard to.
Definitely.
I like to have a direction, but not much more than that because things are gonna, you know,
go any way they can.
No expectation. Yeah.
So true. What about you, Tosh? What do you think? Long or short?
I kind of like I kind of do both. Like, I believe like you. Like, for a year, it's good to set kind of like, I don't want to say vague, but maybe like a goal that's not really too specific because I know, just like everyone else knows, when you make plans, a lot of the times, especially that far in advance, they don't really pan out. But I think it is better to write them like short-term goals and like maybe just to get yourself in a mindset that you want to be in. Yeah. Maybe that's like a year goal. Like, okay, by this year I want to be thinking like this and be doing like this, or, you know, be getting paid in a field, in my field, at a job in my field, to where you're not so specific, but, you know, it's specific enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like not so like, you know, oh, I want this job. I want to be editor of a newspaper next year. And you're like, like, I don't really know about that. Okay. But you could be in the door. You could be writing articles for that paper, though.
Exactly. I feel like I'm with you guys on the short term. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for me, the reason it works is because I feel like gaining consistency has been something that I've struggled with. You know what I mean? Being as consistent as you should be with being to get where you want to get. You know what I mean? And that's something that I struggle with. Yeah. But I'm getting better at it. Okay.
That's all that matters.
Right. But short-term goals help me to still feel motivated. Like, I'll set a goal for, even if it's just a week in advance. Like, okay, Taylor, I want to, I don't know, write one article or reach out to one artist that I want to interview in 1 week, you know? And once I do it, I can physically cross it off of my list, and that makes me feel like, yes, I did that.
How good do you feel?
I feel amazing. So good. Versus being like, all right, by December, I'm gonna have interviewed 10 artists. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then December comes, and I only interviewed 5 and forgot. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, just flipping through my notebook, finding the page where it's like, interview 10 artists by December. Right. And I'm like, I'm a failure. I'll never make that goal again. You know what I mean? Like,
it's also being consistent, though. Or, I mean, not being consistent, I was going to say. Being true with your expectations. You know, setting realistic goals. You know, because I'm not going to the moon next year. Mm-hmm. You know? And right. You got to be, you know, like, what do you think you can really do? Yes. So you won't be disappointed if those things don't happen.
Exactly. Realistic goals. Yeah.
And you can be pleasantly surprised when you reach that goal. Yeah. You know what I mean? So say you said, oh, I'm going to have 5 artists, and you would have hit the 5, or maybe you would have got 8, and you're like, oh, well, dang, girl, it was 5, but I got more than that.
Stop.
But that doesn't mean to limit yourself. You know, if you do want to reach, but just remember that you wanted to reach, and continue to put forth that reaching effort. That's
a good point. And remember that you wanted to reach.
You know, a lot of people want to do things, but they don't want to put forth that effort. So it's like, it goes back to those people saying like, oh, I really want to paint. Right. And it's like, whatever it is, something's stopping you, and it really is just you, because you can paint. Yeah. It's not, that hard. There's no rules.
Right. But don't go into it thinking you're going to paint a freaking masterpiece, the best work you ever did, and it's your first time picking up a brush and ever. You know what I mean? Because then you're going to feel crushed. You're going to feel discouraged. Like, dang, I thought I was going to paint like my best work yet. Right. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's not going to work out that way. But I think something else, number 3, a third way to get involved in your community is to volunteer.
Yes.
Lend a hand. Give a hand and lend a hand. We're actually going to be starting this volunteer group coming up. Our first project, I reached out to Soilborn, which is a urban farming community that also goes out and teaches in high schools and elementary schools, whoever really is interested in the program, all over Sacramento, and I feel like a few in the Bay Area, a few outreach programs in the Bay Area. And I'm trying to.
So what can people
Each one teach one.
Teach
these people.
When are people signing up for this? How can I get
on? Well, this is actually the debut release of it publicly. Okay. So anybody who wants to get involved, please do, because we need you. Your community needs you. I mean, it's awesome. I feel like when people achieve their goals and they're able to, go out of Sacramento and travel and become successful. But something really important is to come back and feed that success into your community.
Not enough people do it. Not enough.
Right. If somebody makes it, so typical, but makes it out the hood type thing, and they go to college and do the whole higher learning thing, you know what I mean? And they get really successful. it'd be cool to come back and teach those people who came from your same neighborhood that it's possible to get that done. And not only is it possible, but I'll teach you.
Right. You
know?
can plant the seed for someone else.
Literally planting the seed.
Yeah.
Even
if planting the seed. Even if it means just like speaking, you know, I know even just that, a lot of people look up to people who have success, and no matter what that is, you could be a professor, you could be an NFL player, NBA player, whatever, you know, come back and just talk, you know, talk to the youth. The youth are like when they say kids are like sponges, they really mean that. Like, it's crazy how you can kind of spark something in somebody. And I don't know, it really is something cool. So that's why I'm really glad that we're doing this volunteer thing and, you know, teaching people things that especially that aren't taught in school. Okay. And that that agriculture is not taught in school anymore. And it's really, really important, especially being with all the things that are in food that you look at and you're like, oh my God, that was in my tomato? And they don't send tomato, right? You know?
They don't send nutritional facts with tomatoes and avocados and berries and stuff.
You just hear about it on an article, like Monsanto. You know, you hear about all that and what they're doing to the seeds, the stuff they're spraying on your food, and it's just like, you know, it would be a lot healthier if I just grew a garden and you know grew my own vegetables.
Exactly.
Fruits.
Something. Shoot. So that'll be our first little volunteer work. We are open to everybody coming in and volunteering, putting those hands in, and hopefully this is the vision. Well, not hopefully. This is what's happening.
Yes.
Okay? The vision is, right, the each one teach one method is we will go to Soilborn or whatever other volunteer spot we go to, wherever we decide to go and help out, and we will learn from them first. So just the group will go. Right. And then we will go out and find some other kind of community event, set up a table, and teach the people who are at that event. So, you know what I mean? So if it's, for example, farming, we can just bring like a few little plots, bring like a bag of soil and stuff. Think I'm like a bag of
some seeds, maybe
stuff. Right.
Obviously, we need some teaching ourselves. Right.
Exactly. We haven't done it yet. So, right, and just kind of display the process. Whoever it is, whatever it is we're doing, we're trying to be representatives for our city and for our community. So
And also, if you do anything, and it doesn't have to be agriculture related, but maybe you teach people how to write poetry, or maybe you teach kids, maybe you teach adults, you know, things like taxes or whatever it is that you feel like this community needs. Mm-hmm. If you're a volunteer or, you know, you're part of an organization that does volunteer work, you know, let us know, and we'll link up and we'll learn from you guys, or maybe we can have you guys come and talk to our group. Because
please,
and another thing, if you want to get involved, hit us up. You know, if you want to learn how to grow some stuff, let us know. You know, because I really want to.
Don't know, but no.
I think the biggest issue though with why a lot of people don't volunteer is they're not aware of like the different programs that are going on. Exactly. It's not put out there enough for people to, I guess, you know, get involved.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe ask people who are interested in that. Ask somebody.
Yes,
I'd say I
think that's a great idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. That goes back to just asking questions.
Right.
Ask whatever you need to know. It's always no, and you're never gonna know if you don't ask.
Exactly, and that was just the purpose of us starting that, because there's tons of people who have great hearts and minds who want to get involved, but like you said, they either don't know how, they don't know where to start, or maybe they just don't think that they can, you know, they don't think that they're capable of doing anything, you know, and if that's you, come on down, get involved.
And don't think like that, because you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Anything.
Yes. So, wrapping it up here, we're going to play a little game with Miss Alia. A nice little game called Would You Rather.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Would you rather? Okay.
All right.
So, the questions are here. I'll ask the first one. We're going up like that. Okay?
Okay.
First question. Would you rather be traveling the world, doing your dream, or making a huge difference in one place off of somebody else's business?
I would say living my dream somewhere, because if I live up to what like the goals I have set, I will still be making a difference and making an impact. So
that's a good answer.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Tosh, go ahead.
Okay, so would you rather be a part of the civil rights movement of the 60s or of the present?
I just have to say the present, just because, I mean, I live in the present and we need help now. Just as, you know, I'd say as bad as they did in the 60s. So I would definitely be a part of that now.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and how do you want to get involved?
How do I want to get involved?
How are you involved?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
I can say that I haven't been as involved as I should. But I want to start getting more effective with my art. I want to start like talking through that and just touching people who wouldn't normally be open to certain ideas, certain topics, and just kind of opening that that dialogue up through art. I want to start there. And definitely, I know you guys can help me with some community events that I can definitely be involved in. So.
Yes.
Try. No, yes. Of course. Okay, so would you rather be wealthy forever or be relevant forever? People always knowing your name forever and ever and ever, going down in history forever and ever, or be wealthy forever and ever and ever?
It's hard because I really don't care about either.
Okay.
I'd say be...
And wealth doesn't have to be financial either. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, well, when you say that, that's
I know.
That way, because if you really think about it, health is wealth. So
right, exactly.
I would much rather be.
I mean, I'd say wealth, just because
overall wealth
it could be a lot of things. So
yes.
Yeah,
and wealth can bring relevance. So
right,
right, it could be everything.
Right, and then we have it could be everything.
It could be everything you ever dreamed of.
All right, we have to throw a random. This is submitted by one of the coworkers at my job, so it's pretty interesting. But it brought, like, I asked everybody at work just to see how effective it would be.
Okay.
And it got everyone pretty stumped.
Okay.
So,
all right, let's do it.
Would you like to read it off?
Yeah,
it's that one.
So would you rather have an STD you can't get rid of, or would you rather be pregnant by the wrong person?
I can't. What is this?
What is this?
Oof, they're both pretty permanent. So
pretty permanent. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
I would say pregnant by the wrong person, because that doesn't necessarily mean they have to be involved.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's very
and
true.
I know I would be a great parent, so
yes,
that's not an issue.
Yeah,
girl, thank you. That's what I would pick too, by the way.
That's what you would pick.
That's what I picked. What did you pick?
I would pick the same thing. Because then, like, first it gets you thinking, like, okay, what are the STDs you can't get rid of? You're like, okay, herpes, no. AIDS, no. And then you're thinking, like, I don't know any other one. I don't want neither one of those. No. And then pregnant by the wrong person, like you said. I know I would do all I can for my child.
Right.
And I know, and I've seen, there are parents who their relationship didn't work out, but they're still able to co-parent. So, I mean, it would be a struggle, but at the same time, at least I would be healthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I would have a little baby, so.
Right. You could definitely easily turn that into a blessing.
Yeah,
I mean, it would
definitely
be challenging, but it would be a blessing.
Time to heal that wound, but the STD thing is going to be, that's a disclaimer on every date you go on.
Everything.
Like, by the way, I got to take this medicine. You got to take it too if we're going to take this further. Like, wait.
You don't believe it or not, one of the men who answered this question at my job said he chose the STD.
Well, of course
he chose the STD.
Whoa.
I was like, he was like, because at least I can take like a pill and it won't be as active for but it's like half the year. Like, I was like, you're gross. And that tells me a lot about you as a man.
No, that says a lot about you as a person.
You know who you are. No,
that's crazy. Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah,
but to each
I had to put
his
it on
own.
blast. Yeah. But anyways, thank you so much for participating.
Thank you all for having me.
So let us know, like, when's your next art exhibition or appearance?
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I have some stuff at Soul Collective right now.
Right there.
So if you stop by. Actually, I don't know when I'm taking it down, so hopefully it come by soon. Like
Please.
in the next week or two.
Yes.
I will be featuring at Mahogany August 31st at Queen Sheba's.
Perfect.
My work will be paired with some poets that I'm selecting, so it should be good.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
It starts around 9 or 10 o'clock.
This Wednesday?
August 31st.
And have you picked
August
those
31st.
Have you picked those poets yet?
No, I haven't. I'm I don't want to name drop yet.
Oh, yeah. Gotta
if you a
keep it a
poet,
surprise.
let her know.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on now. All right. And then one more time with the social media, how can people reach out to you,
Yeah.
contact you, ask you all the good questions?
Art by Alia, ArtByAliYAH. And yeah.
Perfect. And that's on all the social networks, or which ones?
Just on Instagram and Facebook. I don't
Do the whole...
No, I'm with you.
I don't really like social media, but
That's-
I'm on there, so check me out.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that was our show. Freaking Alia Sadiq. Let's give her a round of applause.
Art by Alia, y'all.
Art by Alia. Check it out. And of course, as always, I'm at justsay_Tay. It's me.
And I'm Tasha B. 2 A's, 3 E's after B.
Yes.
B.
And always find us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook is facebook.com/How to Be Real Without the Vowels, HWTBRL. And same with Twitter at How to Be Real Without the Vowels. And of course, check out Tasha's new article up on howtobereal.wordpress.com. And same if you want to catch up with all our podcast episodes.
Yeah, we updated the website, so please check it out. And
Yes.
thanks for tuning in,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for the support. Thank you everybody that shares, likes, comments. Please continue to do the same thing.
Yes.
You know, just love.
Yes, and for volunteer opportunities, we'll definitely be posting them on Facebook and Instagram. And if you're interested in getting involved, send us a DM
Yep.
in Instagram or message us on Facebook, and we will let you know when everything's about to pop off.
We'll also make a Facebook group with that. I mean, I know that's really effective. So
Yeah.
we'll make a Facebook group and we'll invite people and join if you see it.
Yay! And this has been How to Be Real on Radio Soul.